In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to deal with the bad guys. These guys with their little capes, they're bad dudes. And of course, got a free sword. What are you doing? What are you doing? Get away from me. What's going on, everybody? This is Techmatic. Thank you for joining me today. As we're going ahead and taking a stroll here, we're going to go ahead and change from combat key mapping for PC now that we've got a number of different abilities. Of course, we've got our little ultra hand ability that allows us to go ahead and pull items in. And of course, you can see that we can control this. And as the game depicts, you need this for a lot of different puzzle mechanics. We're going to go ahead and remap a couple of things so that we get everything in order. Also, pro tip, you don't need to chop down using your hatchet. You can just go up and tell the tree to fall over. Okay, everybody, so let's go ahead and talk about getting some of these mapping settings going for mouse and keyboard. Now, this is highly important and it has improved my gameplay exponentially. There are a number of different key settings that I changed, including how I access the axiom force, in which you use that as your grappling tether. That is the ultra hand ability that you have. I switched that around too, but we're going to go into others, settings, and down into shortcuts and inputs. So in here, you're going to see a number of different things you can change. But I recommend that you change your aim guard, and this is if you are using a mouse and keyboard, and a mouse particularly with the mouse key button 4 and 5. So with the image on the screen, you can pretty much see what I'm talking about. And of course, aim and guard is located in the bottom right hand control button. So you're going to have to be doing this weird articulation with your hand, in which you're going to have a chicken claw in order to get that done. Well, to save yourself some time, I put it on the mouse button 5, which is located here. This allows me to go ahead and guard, and of course aim, and then use your lantern as well, so that you can shine into the direction you want while articulating your hand with your right hand. So with that being said, I also changed the orientation of my shield bash. My shield bash is a combination of mouse button 5 and of course the right click. This allows me to have that quick movement and still be able to, navigate my character without having to reach haphazardly to click left control as well as the right click. So it's really weird. I don't know why they made it like that. But going on down further, the next thing that I changed is the skill blinding flash, which is mouse button 4 and a combination of the left click. And that's going to allow you to go ahead and do all of your motions as well as focusing in, which is the burn effect that it gives. So with those, these are the main things that I changed. It allows me to combo, it allows me to block and be more responsive on the battlefield. And of course, the other thing that I changed, which is down here, is equipment tab is usually found on on the F key number 2. I switched that around so that F key number 2 is actually going to be bringing up the axiom power, which is located up here. So here we got axiom force, that again is that grapple that is going to be put on the F2 key, because I don't find myself using it a whole lot. But I kept force palm the same, and of course your turning slash, all of your slashes are pretty much going to stay the same, except for that you're going to be able to equip from the quick slot. So this is going to help you out so you're not fumbling around, you're not reaching over in front of you to hit where the F2 radial menu would be, so that you can quickly switch to your shield, or you can do a combination of dual wields, so you can have that and be able to articulate yourself. So let's go ahead and show you what I'm actually doing here. So now that we have all these settings up, and of course we have some bandits over here, this is actually a good time to go ahead and showcase some of the combat. We're going to let this guy walk away because we don't want him to get in the way, but let's go in. We can go ahead and get that guy dealt with. Get him out of the way. Die!
I'll enjoy your death.
And it just offers us a whole lot of utility to be able to do what we want and articulate our combat. So we're able to shield, we're able to go ahead and... Ooh, that guy died. Alright, well, that's that. Okay, my dudes, let's talk about refinement. So eventually you're gonna get to the blacksmith. He's gonna have an initial quest for you to do. So when you visit him, here he is, and this is his location on the map. You're gonna get the initial quest board, which is located right here beneath this tree in Hernand. And of course, you're gonna meet our homeboy here. You can go ahead and use the smithy, and he will allow you to refine your gear. Now this is part of the combat. The other half is refinement. So with refinement, you can utilize the timber that we cut down, and of course improve with the ore that we saw as well. So that being said, we can utilize a number of those to increase the properties. As you can see here, utilizing these timber materials will go ahead and increase our attack power by +2. He also does all of the refinement for your cloth gear as well as your shields, even the broom, pickaxe, and other things like your necklace. But it also requires different environmental materials as well. So like, I do not have a garnet because I haven't discovered it yet, but I'll be able to mine those in the future. Small bones, which are plentiful from all of the game that you're going to be accumulating for the meat that you're going to cook. All of these are available to you to use in your refinement recipes, as well as having to utilize, as you can see here, I've got a rank 4 going into rank 5. I'm going to need a bloodstone and of course abyss artifacts. So you really have to choose whether you want combat prowess or if you want skill gains based on your playstyle. So with that in mind, guys, all of that refinement is done here. You can sometimes, like the logging axe, you can use other duplicate items to also refine so that you can get that tier up. Each refinement is applied to the gear itself, and of course you get a little notch off of every one. Once you get to level 5, it's going to start requiring a lot of different materials, as you saw down here with these grayed out patterns like our Sword of the Wolf. It's going to start requiring the bloodstones and abyss artifacts, so you really have to delegate what you want to do at that point. But it does help, especially when you're improving this sword, which is normally 10 damage to +20 at the moment. One of the other quest board items that you're going to run into, again, the quest board is located right here on this street in Hernand, is that you're going to run into Renee's request. Renee's going to request that you cook stuff at her pot over here. Now this quest is going to require you, excuse me sir, for you to make some fish porridge. Now when you're cooking, you get a general list of ingredients to utilize. So once we go over here to the pot, we can switch between recipes. As you can see here, we have one for fish porridge. It's going to require whatever replacement item that you have, plus the fish, a salt, and a water. When she does give you this quest, it's important to note, guys, that you will be able to make 3 different variations. So there's satisfying, hearty, and regular fish porridge. What's the difference? The difference is that it heals a different amount depending on what you choose. As you can see here, 540 health, 240 health, and 420 health. Now, depending on what you choose, uses that many ingredients. So if we're going to go with hearty, it's going to use an increased amount. which is 5. A regular fish porridge is going to just use the singular amount, which is the best way to go, because you're going to be starting out very new, and a lot of your materials and health potions, which is the other side of the combat. Alright guys, so I hope that this short basic guide on how to heal yourself, because healing is done with the majority with food, and of course articulating your combat on PC, mouse, keyboard, as well as where to refine your gear so that you can start making those improvements. Mind you, you're going to be mining a lot, and you're going to be cutting down literal forests just to get those improvement ranks, but they do go the mile, so it's really important to get that done early on. With that guys, thank you very much for your time. Please like, share, comment, and we'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.